All right, we are starting to shift into the next series, and so we're going to be looking at another lineup. And Laban, do you want to take us away?
Of course. I mean, we got the Sleuths for Espionage and the Blue Jays for the Birdcage in tonight's amateur matchup. Let's see. Let's look at these stats real fast. That's what I'm really excited to see.
No, I'm feeling the same excitement. I think this is going to be a hell of a series. I'm wondering, when we look across how these stats are lining up, what you notice in them, and we're kind of got a reverse of what we saw last game as far as the franchises are concerned.
Exactly like you said, when Cryptic, or sorry, not Cryptic. Why can't I
When
remember?
Bugs.
Thank you. When Bugs came in and said all the pressure was on
Mhm.
Espionage, now it's their turn to say that. Coming in with 6 wins, 11 losses, but with the Blue Jays coming in with 16 wins and 2 losses. Now that pressure's starting to flip for the other franchise, and I'm honestly really excited to see how that's going to play out in this game in particular.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important, for the Blue Jays to really stop the stemming here, the flow of the fact that they're down 3-0 in this franchise fight night. I think they're looking for a 3-0 win tonight. They have the season results to prove it. They have the stats to prove it. And if they can bring back and they can get those 3 wins, one, it's going to get closer to Bugs' prediction, but 2, it's going to say, no, 7-2 is not happening tonight. Sorry, Cryptic. We're going to have a little bit of a closer franchise fight night than that. And so Blue Jays have a lot of pressure on their shoulders here to kind of to put that together. And like Cryptic was telling us when we began was, he doesn't see the Sleuths having a lot of pressure. They're going to go out and have fun. He's got confidence in them, but they don't have the weight on them right now. And let's see how they play with that. It really is a reverse from last series, Laban.
It really is. And Cryptic saying 7-2, that means that he still has a bunch of confidence in this team, even though they're only 6-11, which I'm really happy to see. I mean, they can only allow 1, maybe 2 losses, then hope that vet team sweeps in order to hit
Mm-hmm.
his prediction. So, I mean, the amount of confidence he has in all 3 of his teams is absolutely insane.
Yeah, this will be the real test of kind of his perspective on it. It'll be a real test for the Birdcage here to show that, these results that the Blue Jays have been having all season, they're real, they've earned them, and we have no reason to doubt it because they've been a dominating force all season long, and it looks like they're really putting themselves in a position for a long playoff run. And we're going to go into these player stats and have a look at how well they've been doing.
Let's see. So for these sleuths, we got Technic with 11 games, 23 goals, yet again hitting that 2 games a goal mark with the 62 shooting percentage is absolutely insane. And then it seems like we got Quan who plays a little less than the other 2, but still a good amount of games, 7 goals, 7 games, 9 goals, 45 shooting percentage. And then Nobo, who it seems like it looks like plays the most in 16 games with 13 goals, but 12 assists, really putting that assists on his back, um, and being like the rock of that team.
Yeah, they're definitely not sloths when it comes to assists. And so, the Sleuths have been looking real good. Those assist numbers are great. You want to have a teammate like that who's got a good shooting percentage, 35% is very respectable, but the big thing is we're looking at 12 assists for his teammates, and that's obviously been lining up for Technic, who's got 23 goals. I mean, he's been doing really well here.
Yeah, yes. Now moving over to the Blue Jays though, we got Rum 17 games played, 46 goals. That's absolutely insane. Not just that, but 54 shooting percentage. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It just blows the mind when you look at that stat line, how well he's been doing. I mean, he's fighting for MVP this season with those types of stats. Shooting above a 50% on 84 shots is an obscene number. And he's a big reason why they've done so well this season. That's not to take anything away from Zach or Capio, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But at the end of the day, Rum is absolutely running his way through the season. I mean, he's basically turned into Jack Sparrow at this point because he is just winning everything he touches.
I mean, not just that, but also 15 saves. But then moving on to Zach, not saves, assists, but then moving over to Zach, 24 goals in 14 games, and yet again, 15 assists. with a 43 shooting percentage. I mean, they're really just giving the ball back and forth between the two.
Yeah, it's nice to see that amount of assists between them and the fact that they've been playing so well. And we're about to step in, Laban, here to the first match. It's going to be interesting to see how the Sleuths react to the dominating force here of the Blue Jays. And only if the Blue Jays in the baseball league were as good as these ones. This is just fantastic placement coming in. Nobo with a great pop pass. Zach comes up to try and block it, gets a piece of it, but Quan just has too much power behind him.
That piece really just basically turned that into a pinch. I mean, the speed on that, there's no way that Rum is going to be able to get up to that. And I mean, we're only down by a goal now. They're only down by a goal. It's 2-1 game with 4 minutes left. See if they can tie this game up here.
And you gotta love it. You gotta love watching a game. We're 1 minute in and we're already at 3 goals. That's what we want to see here. Lots of goals, lots of action, and these players are playing for the franchise. But a bit of an errant touch, but Nobo makes it back to recover. That's fantastic defensive play after a bit of a mistake.
A little bit of a spicy back pass that he was able to fix. Quan gonna come in and pop it for himself. Tries to go up, but he's beat by Zach. Now it's to Nobo. Nobo puts it on the sidewall, still behind it, but Rum is going to get it to that corner. Nobo with the demo chase. Couldn't get the demo or a bump. A pass right out to him. Can he put a shot? He cannot. Quan needs to get out. Nobo goes in the corner. And Zach gets a pop over Quan for a free net for Rum, but he hits the post.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Laban. You know, that's not a play we see often from Rum. Not only was his teammate in position to score that goal, but he slipped it off the post, and that's going to be unfortunate if they lose this game. That's going to be a goal that we look to.
Yeah, it really is. Meanwhile, we got a massive spawn from Nobo right there, getting the instant 50 right off his spawn. Quan needs to go up for that, gets a save off the backboard. Nobo trying to go up, gets a touch over one, but Rum's coming in to finish it, and he puts it into the back of the net, going up 3-1.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate breakdown for sure. You can see that the Sleuth just couldn't figure out how to get that ball anywhere from directly vertically above their own net, and they did all they could, and then an errant boost grab going out to the side by Quan instead of sticking around and going up the wall, and we've got ourselves a 3-1 game.
We certainly do. Meanwhile, we have Zach coming around, trying to get it around Nobo. He does, but Quan cleans it up. Now he needs to get a 50. He does. Pops it out to Nobo. Can Nobo put a shot on net? He cannot, just wide off the backboard with a clear. Now Nobo's going to back out. Will he turn? He won't until he goes right there, but he's going to bump Quan for another open net for Zach. Putting them up 4-1.
Yeah, you can see here there's a little bit of a communication lapse. It's hard to tell, but, you know, in all certainly, each player had a slot at that. They need to be on comms because Nobo had a nice grab to go out, and, you know, Quan had the ability to get into the corner and grab boost, but I don't know if they're on comms. You know, I assume they are, but they need to be able to communicate that faster because that's a comms error there, Laban.
It really is. I'm curious to see if that happens again throughout the series. I'm hoping not. I want this to be a close series, but I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to keep on watching.
Yeah, they're there. You can tell that mechanically, you know, we're looking at a team here with the Blue Jays that do have an edge mechanically. Now, they bump each other, which is interesting, but they've got a little bit more control, but that doesn't mean they're slotted to win. If, you know, if we get Sleuth here, and they can put themselves together and start lining up some plays as a team, they can start to pull it back. We do have a minute 30. It's looking a little unlikely for this match, but we got 2 more coming up.
Exactly. There's a lot of game to be played. There's not as much in this game per se, but we got 2 more games for this Sleuth team to figure it out and possibly get at least 1 game off of them, maybe 2.
Well, like you were saying, they need at least 1 to get the prediction lined up, right? And that goal's making that seem a little less likely. We're up to 5-1 with a minute left. This game seems to be wrapped up here, Laban, and that's going to happen. You know, you're going to have tough matches. We had one in the other series, right? Sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to control that. You can't really control that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I will say one thing that I've noticed is that every time, except for that second goal, it seems, the Blue Jays have just had an open net whenever they scored. So I'm really curious if the Sleuths can get that figured out, keep a little of that net closed up for them, make them make a good shot.
Well, that's it, right? Like that's what we're going to be looking for, especially going into the next game is, you know, can they manage that moving forward? And we do have a shot here coming in, and it's another slippery goal. So again, unfortunate for sure that this one's going in, but that's okay. It's going to happen.
I mean, Nobo's right there for the save. Rum just comes in and gets him out of that post. Just didn't want him to be there for the save, and just able to clean up that goal, just putting them up 6-1 with 30 seconds left. I think it's easily fair to say that this game's out of reach for them. But
so, are you thinking we're going to see another Brazil? Oh, with that pinch,
there's definitely
boy.
a chance. Oh, just high. Can Zach put it in? Are we taking another trip?
Not yet, but there's 15 seconds for the potential here. But Sleuths are coming back, and I think they're going to try and get a goal in here just to kind of say, look, similar to the last series, let's get a goal and just kind of get some consistency back going into the next match.
Show them that they're still here to play. They don't want to go down with a fight, but that is going to be the game. Blue Jays winning 6-1 over the Sleuths in game number 1.
Yeah, it's a dominating game. The stats showed before we went in, and they really they didn't miss a beat here. And if there was any pressure on them, it wasn't there. They took the series. Both players played fantastic. I mean, MVP going to Zach the Bull. We're looking at a 4-goal performance, 6 shots and a save. Just a fantastic showing from him. Really pulling his team up and putting up a 6-1 performance for the whole.
You know, we really are. You know, you'd expect Rum to have the most goals, but not this time. Zach comes in putting up 4 goals on the board for them. Rum's still getting 2, but there is one thing to notice there. Rum also did have 2 assists. He is still putting up those assist numbers like we saw in the stats before this game happened. 6 shots for each of them. 2 of them going in for Rum. 4 of them going in for Zach. So, I mean, I don't think you can really complain there.
No, the main thing for sure going into the next match is Sleuth is going to need to figure out how to get the ball downfield. Like, don't even worry about scoring yet. You don't have the shots to score. You had 1 shot that game. You need to get the ball past the half line and keep it there long enough that you can put the other team in some heat, because that game was probably 70-80% in their end, and that's a recipe for a loss every day of the week here, Laban.
It really is. I mean, if they can manage to get this out, we have noticed some overcommits coming from this Blue Jays side. So who knows if they're able to clear the ball, take advantage of the overcommits, they may just be able to squeak out a W.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. We want a competitive match here. They do get a swap here. Technik comes in, and he's going to replace Quan. So they've decided, okay, we're going to need a little bit of a switch up, and let's see what type of energy he brings into the match.
For sure, at this point, it's a whole new game. Can't even think about the last series. New roster. You never know. I mean, new roster can change a bunch of things up, and Technik's going to be getting a big save there, too. Really stepping up the defense with him on the field, it seems.
Yeah, that's a great way to start the match because it was a lethal play. It was quite dangerous. Now, Technik has no boost here, and he's going to have to make the play, and he does land it, gets a great 50 into the wall, but he's still struggling to breathe on boost. But with a great 50 out, he's going to be able to grab some pads.
And now Noble has a chance for an open net, and he does score. That's just a massive play for the momentum of this Sleuths team. Just a little bit of a mistake catch, which kind of caught his teammate off guard, which left that open net for him.
Yeah, an unfortunate double from Rum. A little more patience on that, a little more comms. And Nobo, I mean, he just came in like a shark, and he knew exactly what he was doing, and he took it. And we've got another center play here, but Rum manages to push out to the side. But that last goal, I mean, Technik needs some credit for it too, because he made some astounding early saves to put them in a position. And he goes up for a play here, a little risky. I'm not sure with your teammate floating to outer space, that's the move, but it works out for him.
Yeah, it most certainly does. I mean, going back to that Technik defense, as we're going to get a shot over the top of Nobo from Rum, just put that right in the perfect position where he couldn't get to.
Yeah, a tough play, really. At the end of the day, Technik needs to have a little more control on that touch because he just centers the ball, and they're not going to miss from that. They're right in the slot, and, Nobo is flat-footed. He's sideways. He's not going to recover a shot like that, and so they're going to have to clean those touches in the wall up a little bit, but here they are. Nobo, second goal of the game, and we're looking at a 2-1 game here, 3:35. This is definitely competitive.
They really don't want to give up any pressure whatsoever. As soon as this Blue Jays team comes in and scores a goal, they're like, okay, we got to step up. We got to get that goal back. And they do, putting them up 2-1.
A great kickoff. Technik with a good space buying clear up top, but this is a bit dangerous. He gets the 50, and he's got some downward pressure. And Nobo with a third goal.
What a solid play. This is what I'm talking about. They're playing that overcommit. They're playing that commit right there from Rum. And Nobo is just going to end up finishing that goal for Technik as he gets it past Rum.
Yeah, the big thing that, they're going to need here, the Blue Jays, is to stop swinging for the fences, if you know what I'm saying. Like, they are going for homers, and they need to just stabilize a little bit on the plate and take a couple bunts here to get them back in position, because they're down 3-1. They can't afford another mistake.
Listen, since we're back on that baseball analogy, as we get a solid demo, just Zach is able to beat Technik to that ball. But going back to the baseball analogies, they just need to play small ball. They need to play the small touches. They just got to get that ball in front of the net to where they can easily take a free shot for a goal.
100%. Yeah, they need to be able to get in there and say, look, we're not going for one, and here it is. All that took was one counter attack, and Zach decides no one at plate, but he's going to just put it downfield, and he runs a homer here, gets a goal, and we're up 3-2.
One thing I really want to point out is not only the pass from Rum, but instead of following it, he decides to turn back, knows that his teammate is going to be there for the shot, plays behind him. That's exactly what we're talking about. Not giving up the overcommit goals.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is that they need, if they can just stabilize themselves defensively, if they can organize their counterattacks, they have the mechanics to win this game even though they're down a goal. But, at the end of the day, they still have the hill to climb. They still have to get up there.
Yeah,
they still have to fly.
They still have to fly. Meanwhile, a big bump coming out onto Technik, which just leaves Zach with a free open net. I mean, there's nothing much Technik can do there from that bump.
Yeah, he's slotted out of position. I mean, this goes back to that play earlier where one of them was flying to the International Space Station and they still went up for the ball. They can't get caught doubling upfield like that and leaving a player in a one-on-one or a potential bump, right? And so let's both teams here, they're kind of playing Wild Wild West Rocket League. They're just shooting and there's not a lot of defense going on.
Yeah, all 4 players really just wanting to get those shots on net. Whether it means that they're going to overcommit or not, it seems. It does look like that the Blue Jays have kind of figured that out. They have slowed themselves down, closing out those double commits and overcommits. Meanwhile, we're gonna have Zach getting a solid 50. He is gonna go up for another touch. He can get it, but Technic's there for the touch. But Zach to Rum. Rum just misses.
Oh,
And can't Technic get the read? He can't. But Nobo's there. And he
oh,
scores another goal. That's his 4th goal of the game.
what a wild sequence. So first we have Technic, who launches a ball. I mean, we're talking, he launches that downfield. Kind of misses the open end, it happens. He pinches it, and then all of a sudden here, Nobo, he gets the other player, I believe it was Rum, to own goal on his own net with a shot off the side. And Rum had to go for that ball, and so now we're down 4-3. And, you know, we were talking about how they were able to kind of come back playing a little defensive. They've got some time to still do the counterattacks, but they've only got 3 or 4 more counterattacks and this game's over, so they might have to go all in here.
Yeah, they very well may need to. I mean, a minute's a lot of time, so it'll be curious to see if it changes just yet. I'm hoping that if it doesn't within this first half, like 30 seconds, that it will after that with 30 seconds left. But, I mean, either way, it seems like both teams are playing good Rocket League, especially coming from this Sleuths team. They've really figured out their issues and are starting to take advantage of the Blue Jays' issues.
Yeah, and we just saw there, so Technic came over and demoed Zach the Bull. So the Matador got the first strike, but then the Bull came back over, he wanted vengeance, and he just said, not anymore, and he dominated. We got a top ball here. That's real tough, but Technic with a huge save.
That is just absolutely massive. There was a little bit of a weird touch that put that ball in that position, though. It looked like the ball got hit off of one of these Sleuth players, which popped it right up mid for them, but then Technic just clearing it out. He's not able to get to that one, though, but it's still high. But then a big save coming from Nobo. And it looks like that the Sleuths are going to be able to squeak out game number 2.
I love the decision making there from Technic, not to try even to score that goal that was going downfield. He didn't try to take a shot. He just said, look, I'm going to roll this ball for 4 seconds. You know, we have the win here. This looks good. And it looks like the decision to swap in Technic was a good one. It allowed them to apply a little more pressure. It allowed them to have a little more downfield presence. And Nobo really, he stretched out. You know, he started moving downfield, and he's got 4 goals on this game. It's a great comeback here. We're tied 1-1.
Yeah, I think the defensive, like the stress coming off of the defense with that change in Technic really helped Nobo to focus his mind more on the shooting aspect. I mean, 4 goals, still 2 saves, but 4 goals and 4 shots. That's unbelievable. But then in terms of that pressure being relieved off of that Sleuths team, Technic with 4 saves, which just helped out a whole lot, led to a lot of the goals. He ended up with 2 assists on top of it.
Yeah, and those matches are going to happen. You know, it's not to take anything away from Quan. He wasn't having a terrible game or anything like that. The chemistry was the problem. And so that's why we have 3 players in a twos league. We can swap them up, we can try some things, and we can just see maybe one night it's not lining up. And that was a great decision from the team, great decision from the captain and the players. And you know, they managed to pull that out. And so we're going to come back into game 3. And we were talking how the pressure wasn't really there on the Blue Jays. It is now. You know, we're talking about a best of 1 to take the series, and I don't think they want to lose this one, Laban.
No, I guarantee you they don't. I mean, Sleuths already have a small victory of their own. Blue Jays coming in needed to forget about what happened last game. They need to manage to fix the issues that they did in that last one. Come out, pick up game number 2, and just have a great last game of this series.
Yeah, the main thing, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you are, if you're going down 3-0 in a game, you've got a big hill to climb. And so, you know, I know they didn't technically down 3-0, but they might as well have, because they were down the whole game until the very end portion of it. And they need to just not allow in these first 2 minutes any goals that are positionally related. Like, they need to just be consistent, hold on, and then now they're going to start to roll. But we have a double commit, and we might have an open net here. He's got to put that on. It's getting a little scary, but he gets it on.
It looks like he was finally able to get control of that ball where he needed to and just finish that goal. You see Technic there in case he did need to step in. He didn't need to. But that's exactly what we're talking about. That's that positional stuff that we were just talking about. The overcommits, the double commits, and just this Sleuths team taking advantage of it.
Oh, and we have one of the patented sunless con kickoffs where it's just absolutely wrecked. But Nobo comes in, clears it. It's a dangerous ball for Rum. And let's talk more about Nobo. He's got 5 goals here in the past 2 games, and I don't think he's going to slow down.
No, I don't think so either. He's really coming out swinging in these last 2 games. He did not want to get swept this series. He wanted to get his team a win, but meanwhile we have Zach saying the exact same thing, not wanting to lose 2 games, finishing that goal for his team to tie this game up with 3:50 left.
Yeah, really tough play. Rum with a fantastic demo that took out the primary defender, and that's going to force Nobo in that position to try and take an awkward aerial. And for all of you watching, one of the things you want to do before you jump is stop your momentum, because what happened there was as he jumped, he was moving, and he couldn't arrest his momentum, so he fell into his own net, right? And so just a little tip there, but really good attempt by Nobo, and that doesn't take anything away from the fact we're at 1-1, and Nobo's got that goal. So this is a tight match.
Yeah, it really is. Now we got Nobo put into the corner, trying to get around Zach. He does. Can he get around the second one? He can. Can Technic come in and clean it up? He tries to, but it's going to be just wide. Nobo going to come in for that ball. Solid little fake. Going to put it into their corner. Zach trying to follow on 0 boost, getting out mid to Rum. However, it's not good enough, but never mind. Maybe it is. Just wide, but can he finish? Big save coming from Nobo, though.
Huge save coming out. Rum put in a lot of work there. Great demo on the way back too. And Zach was there for the shot, but we had a great save come across, and we've got another goal here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we do. I mean, this is just crazy. Nobo really is stepping up his offense. This is his 6th goal in 2 games. Really just trying to put it down, put it into their net, not giving them any relief. He's just there when they don't want him to be there.
He absolutely has just, that first game, it took him by surprise. You know, they didn't go the way they wanted, and he came out with a vengeance here, and he gets a nice 50 off it. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think we might be in a, we got an own goal, though. That is unfortunate. We've all been in those shoes, Technic. It happens to us all, and this is an unfortunate pinch. You can see here, Laben, he tries to pinch it above the net, and he doesn't get a good shot on it.
Yeah, he does. Just trying to get it back into that corner, back into the safety net that they have, but just unable to get around it enough. Just gonna get a nice little tap into his own net. It happens. I can't tell you how many times it happens in my ranked games. Too many. It happens to the best of us.
That's true, but you know, like I was saying the last week when we were on and we saw an own goal, if Zen can do it, you can do it too. And look at this, Zach comes in and he takes full advantage of the situation, and now we went from a 2-1 lead to a 3-2 deficit in the matter of 30 seconds.
You know, that's just a big demo coming in from Rum, and then on top of it, just Zach putting that over top of the defender just to put it into the back of their net, putting them up in their first lead of this game, I believe, on top of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. They got their first lead here. They've got the momentum. Really, the momentum was completely in the favor here of the opposing team. But, you know, Blue Jays has stolen it back. They get another goal, and there's got to be a stopping to this bleeding. Someone get these birds a tourniquet, because, you know, their wings are coming off, and they got to close it up.
You got the teams a little mixed up there. Got too busy
I know.
with that. Got a little too busy with the burn jokes.
You know what I'll say? I was Icarus. I flew a little too close to the sun on that one and burned myself. But it's gonna happen, you know, just like what we do. But it does look like we've got them coming back with a 4-2 lead, and Blue Jays, they're absolutely in control of this game with 1:40 to go.
you know, if there's one thing I've noticed is they've really stepped up their demos, and it's been helping a whole lot. Putting the defender in a 2-on-1 situation has made the Sleuths so uncomfortable. You can see it in their gameplay. Here we go, Zach going in for a challenge / bump, but Nobo trying to put it over him just high.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play. He basically went up with the other player, pushed the ball off the backboard so he couldn't get a shot. And just like you were saying, they played far more physical this match. And we're almost getting a goal from Rum here. And we got a minute left here, Laben. I don't see the comeback coming. That's a short amount of... Well, you know, they need
And
this
you gotta
goal.
believe.
This
Has
to be a goal here, and I think it is.
And it is! Technic getting his first
Caster...
goal of these two games on top of it.
Caster Curse shows out immediately within 5 seconds because we've got ourselves a ball game here. 55 seconds, 20% of a match left, loads of time to score here.
It is for both teams though. One team can run away with it, one team can tie it back up. It's really this is going to be a close last minute of this game. I feel like no team has the biggest pressure. I mean, obviously the Blue Jays do with their lead, but Technic gonna get a touch over. Can he get the center? Oh, bad bounce though. So hard to read.
A really unfortunate bounce, but that's a fantastic pass. But Zach the Bull, he comes in and he dominates that play. Another great touch up by him, and Rum clears it to the sidewall. Really good defense coming out here by the Blue Jays. A little bit of a slip though, and another slip. Let's see what happens here in the sidewall. Rum says, okay, we're done with this game, but it's back into the wall again.
Zach getting a big touch too, but Nobo's just there to get another touch mid. Rum is going to get the clear though to Zach, but Technic going to get another touch as well.
I don't think Rum has any boost here.
Can Nobo get the... He cannot! No!
Oh, that is so unfortunate. You know, that's a really tough angle because at the end of the day, he had a player in front of him. He had to shoot around him, and you can't take anything off him. He got 2 goals that game, and he just missed off the side. Really great series, though, from both teams. I mean, thank you guys for coming out for that. That was a fantastic series to watch and a really close ending.
Oh, yeah, it was. I love close games. I love close series. I'm so impressed with this Sleuths, though. Coming in, losing the first game 6-1, the way that he did, bringing it back, going into the next game, winning that one, and then making this game 4-3. I mean, that takes a whole lot of mental fortitude in order to do that.
100%. It's very challenging when you get blown out in the game to be like, okay, we can actually be competitive. And at the end of the day, they were 1 shot away from putting us into OT on game 3 and putting them in a position for a 2-1 lead here to take the series. And so at the end of the day, really great play here from the Sleuths. But, you know, here we are, Blue Jays, they managed to take the World Series. I mean, they are the winners. You know, they come out, they play hard, and they deserved every bit of it. And so, fantastic performance. You know, as far as players for the game and looking at it, I really liked Zach the Bull's play. He was aggressive, he was on the ball. You know, we were expecting Rum to come in and light the board up, but I felt like Zach was just showing up for those matches. And so that was great that he pulled his team over for the 2-1 lead.
Oh, for sure. I gotta agree with you 100%. Not to take away any of the credit from Rum, though, because Rum did still have massive series. He did get his goals. He did get his assists. He did get the demos needed for those goals. Overall, it was just very solid play from the both of them. Even then, for them to win game 1 6-1 and then losing game 2, coming back in game 3, I mean, you can say the same thing I said about the Sleuths about the mental fortitude, because winning the game by that much and then immediately losing it right after, that's stressful.
Yeah, 100%. It's very tough to be able to slot yourself. As much as we all want to say that we're, what would you say, cool as a cucumber and we're always calm, it's not the case. But here we are. We've got coming in here to represent the Blue Jays. You're going to have to help us with the pronunciation here. Is it Capio?
Capio.
It is
Capio,
KPO.
perfect.
You were right the first time.
I know I switched it up and that was a flaw. Capio, tell us, how are you feeling about the series, how it went, and what are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts here?
It wasn't too bad, I don't think. That's the second time we played them. We swept in the first time 6-2, 3-1, 4-3. So first game was more of the same. Second game we were a little bit rocky, but I mean it happens sometimes. Third game I think we did really good. Rom really likes going for those demo plays, as you guys can see. He was yeah,
Yeah.
they were both popping off though, and now we're like 9.5 games in first place or something. I don't want to sound
Oh wow.
I don't want to sound kind of braggy, but we're
Oh, there's nothing worse than false modesty, right? Like that is, you
Exactly.
should be proud of that. You guys have worked your asses off for many weeks now. I mean, we're looking at months now to earn that to be 9 games up, and you've put yourself in the best playoff position. So
Yeah, I
just hell of
mean,
a job.
I'm really curious about what you're thinking of going into the playoffs. I mean, yes, we're in the middle of the season, so a lot more can change. However, right now with y'all being the number one team in the amateur tier, really curious how you're feeling about your playoff chances.
I mean I think we're doing pretty good. We're the only team who hasn't lost a series yet, so obviously that bodes well for us. The Cosmos and Seabit and Underdogs are two very good teams. So are Centurions and Euthymia, however you pronounce that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's depends on if it's a 4 game or 4 team or 6 team. Right now it's a 4 team, so that would put us against Centurions. But I mean, I think we definitely could win it. We're definitely good enough.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you
Pretty
have the
good going into.
tools. You've got the players, the tools, you've got the franchise, you've got, you've got everything lined up for you. You've worked your butt off. You guys have been the shining star in your franchise in a lot of ways. How's that been as far as pressure wise to really be kind of leading the charge as far as all of the tiers in the Birdcage and doing so well this season when they're going through a bit of a rebuild?
Hasn't been too bad in terms of like the pressure wise. Like
Hmm.
I mean at the end of every match day, all the captains and all the teams kind of get together.
Hmm.
And we just kind of chill in a VC for a bit, just talking about how the games went. And it's been going pretty well. Bugs, who came in like mid season as the GM, has done a great job.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean it's been a hectic season for us, but I mean it's been okay. We've been
Good.
It's been pretty good.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you guys have done pretty good.
I would say that's kind of an understatement in my opinion. Y'all have done really good. I mean, watching that series, y'all got a great team. Y'all absolutely dominated game one, came back in game three to win again, honestly, pretty much dominated that game. I mean, y'all's got a great team on your hands. So I'm really excited to see how that favors out when it comes playoff time.
I am too. I am
Well,
too.
thank you, KBO, for coming out here. We appreciate the time and appreciate how well you guys have been doing, and just across the board, thanks for participating in the franchise fight night tonight.
All good. We had a bye today, so this is always nice, and it's more fun this way too.
Good. So you enjoyed yourself, and hopefully you got a chance to tune into the stream and
Oh yeah,
enjoy it.
for sure.
Uh,
For sure.
and no, really though, across the board, really proud of how you guys played tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys go into the playoffs.
Thanks, guys.
100%. Congratulations.
See you guys.
Take care. See ya.